This is Genesis 47 and 15. And it says, and when money failed in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence? For the money faileth. I like to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloim Ma Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Barak Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Aquath that's listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson is edifying. It's the brother Shawab Mawan back at you with another lesson. All right, and going into that title, right? All roads lead to that Charagma. Okay. And the reason I brought out Genesis 47, right, even though this was in the time of Egypt, okay, spiritually we are Sodom and Egypt, all right, and there's no new thing under the sun, as the scriptures say, all right, the thing that was is the thing that shall be, okay, so, you know, spiritually being Sodom and Egypt on this side, all right, these things will eventually happen here, all right, this is, let me grab this, this is Isaiah 19 and 3. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail. Now, this is speaking about America itself. Okay. It says, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards. Okay. And, you know, everything here in America is going to fail eventually. Okay. The money's going to fail. Your benefits going to fail. The vintage shall fail. Okay. And these people are going to seek to their idols, man. And their idols being, you know, the love of money, you know, their gods. Okay. The things that they love most that they put before Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay. So all these things are going to fail eventually. All right. So going back to Genesis 47. All right. And this is exactly how it's going to happen. Okay. It says, and I'll take it from 13. And there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very sore, so that the land of Egypt and all the land of Canaan fainted by reason of the famine. And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan for the corn which they bought. And Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. And when money failed in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence? For the money faileth. And Joseph said, give your cattle, and I will give you for your cattle if money fail. All right. And we're going to enter into a time like that where there's going to be a lot of bartering. All right. There's going to be a lot of bartering here in America because everything's going to fail, man. All these jobs are being swept away. All right. Your benefits of food and water is being taken away. And eventually that'll be taken away because of a great famine of bread and water, you see, because it's all orchestrated by these elites, man. All right. They're going to try to starve you out to make you beg. All right. For their system, basically, to go back to normal. OK. So continuing on, it says, and they brought their cattle onto Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for horses and for their flocks and for the cattle of the herds and for the asses. And he fed them with bread for all their cattle for that year. Okay. Going back into that bartering system, right? And when that year was ended, they came onto him the second. All right. And it might see that's going to happen here in America too, where they might just, you know, you might be able to hold off with a couple of goods that you have, you know, be able to barter with a couple of things here and there, but eventually it's going to fail to the point where you're not going to be able to barter anymore, you see, because the Lord is the one that's bringing the destruction upon this place, man. So he's taking everything away. Okay. Let's grab that real quick. Isaiah 3:1. And it says, for behold, the Lord Yahweh of hosts does take away from Jerusalem and Judah the stay and the staff, the whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water. You see, that's going to be something that's going to be taken away from us heavy. Okay. Because it's punishment towards our people. All right. When you go to Leviticus 26, all right, it tells you the same exact thing. Okay, let's grab Leviticus 26 and where's it at? Give me 1 second. Yeah, this is 26 and 26. It says, and when I, right, you hey, what's going on, boss? It says, let me grab it from 24. It says, then will I also, as a matter of fact, let me go up one. Okay, 21. It says, and if ye walk contrary unto me and will not hearken unto me, I will bring 7 times more plagues upon you according to your sins. Okay, and then when you go down to 26, one of them is, I will destroy, in the NLT, I will destroy your food supply so that 10 women will need only one oven to bake bread for their families. They will ration your food by weight, and though ye have food to eat, you will not be satisfied. You see? So eventually, all right, the Lord is going to put you in a predicament where you're not going to be able to, feed your families, man. You're going to have to ration your food, or you're going to have to barter your food. You see? So this is definitely coming to America, man. All right. So going back to Genesis 47 and 18, when that year was ended, they came unto him the second year and said unto him, we will not hide it from my Lord how that our money is spent. My Lord also has our herds of cattle. There is not aught left in the sight of my Lord but our bodies and our lands. You see, wherefore shall we die before thine eyes, both we and our land, buy us and our land for bread, and we and our land will be servants unto Pharaoh, and give us seed that we might live and not die, that the land be not desolate. You see? So spiritually, that's the same exact thing that's going to happen here in America, man. These people going to run out of bartering, whatever they have left, okay? And eventually they're going to come with that same mentality. Well, all we got left is, our land. I got a couple acres of land, all right? I got my body. And they basically said, wherefore shall we die before thine eyes, both we and our land? Buy us and our land for bread. So they're going to tell Pharaoh of this world, right? Esau, they're going to tell him the same exact thing. Well, here, man, buy us, take us as slaves. You see, mark us with that M-A-R-K. Be that showing you that you are, that you are this property. You see, and he's going to take everything that you, all right, take it away from you. He's going to own it also, which you pretty much are. You see, for the chapter, all right, that you will that will be cursed upon our people, man. All right, that you shall go to your enemy for the want of all things. Okay, this is Deuteronomy 28 and 48. Matter of fact, I'll take it from 45. All right, because you didn't hearken on to the word of the Lord, right? He ended up putting these curses upon you till they pursued you and take you to the end. You see, it says, moreover, all these curses, okay, shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he command thee, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Okay, jumping, it says 47, because thou servest not the Lord Yahweh thy power with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord Yahweh shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and the want of all things, and he shall put upon you a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he hath destroyed thee. You see, and this time it ain't going to be a yoke of iron, man. It's going to be a digital chain that he's going to put upon you, man. All right, and it's going to be coming in that way of that RFID. You see, Now let's grab a couple of these videos I got. All right, because again, all roads is to that MOTB, man. All right.
Unless we opt out, digital ID will get its tentacles around our necks and we will become like China. Or worse, mark my words, your every move will be surveilled.
Yeah, and if you want to know, what your future is going to be like, all you got to do is look at China, man. Because see, China's ahead. China's actually following after Esau, okay? But see, they're ahead with their technology. You know, pretty much all the way around the world, they're ahead of us for a reason, man. The Lord is, you know, saving America fast. You see, he waiting for America to be destroyed last. Hey, he's saving the best for last. Okay, here's that. This is world. Okay, so it would only make sense to you know be last to be destroyed. Okay.
Derail from what the authorities want from you, you will pay the price. Said the wrong thing social media, didn't get the latest booster, won't acknowledge that there are more than 2 genders, you'll wake up one day and you won't be able to access your funds. Don't believe me? Remember when people wanted to donate $20 to the truckers? The Canadian government froze their bank accounts, just like that. And you know what they're going to do? The media is going to do the same thing they did with the vaccine. They'll claim that everybody wants a digital ID, and families are feeling safer according to some survey that doesn't even exist. They will try to twist our perception of reality. So don't fall for it. Now, what's the solution? First, all the airport, bank, and government employees that will be used to roll this thing out, wake up and realize that you are about to enslave humanity, and that includes yourselves and your children. There are better jobs out there. And for everybody else, the solution is to opt out. Unless we opt out, digital ID will get its tentacles.
That's one. Let's grab this one right here.
A good score brings benefits, but people with low scores lose rights. The cinema names and shames people considered untrustworthy, plastering their details, even their addresses, across big screens. It's a matter of principle. Those people have to be condemned. Those people aren't honest, so they have to pay the price.
It's only right to pay your debts. You have to blacklist those that don't.
The Supreme Court has created a blacklist for so-called bad citizens, those whose ratings have dropped to 0. On it are companies, but also 23 million people to date. Among them is this journalist who got a little too close to uncovering corruption.
And that's just going all about, this is going all to that social credit score, man. You see? That's all about technocracy, man. It's about total control that this devil's trying to have over you, man. Okay? Come on.
A good score brings benefits, but people with low scores lose rights. The cinema names and shames people considered untrustworthy, plastering their details, even their addresses, across big screens. It's a matter of principle. Those people have to be condemned. Those people aren't honest, so they have to pay the price.
It's only right to pay your debts. You have to blacklist those that don't.
The Supreme Court has created a blacklist for so-called bad citizens, those whose ratings have dropped to 0. On it are companies, but also 23 million people to date. Among them is this journalist who got a little too close to uncovering corruption among high-profile party members. After being sued for defamation by the subject of a story he'd written, he was blacklisted. He only realized when he tried to buy a train ticket and was told he was banned from traveling.
That tells me I'm still on the blacklist.
Punished because he's been branded untrustworthy by the state.
Once you're blacklisted, you can no longer get a bank, buy an apartment.
You see, and this is why we're not gonna be part of this damn system, man. This is why we're gonna be pilgrims upon the earth, because see, we shouldn't have to answer to none of these devils in that type of manner. You know, they're trying to judge you as if they're the Lord. You see, they're trying to judge you, you know, for your wrongdoings, All right, when Yahweh Bashem Yahushua already does that to our people, man, and does that to these other nations also. You see, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is the judge. Okay, so why are they even trying to play that role, man? That just goes to show you they want to play the role of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Okay.
Private school.
You here is among a tiny minority of people who have dared to criticize a system which some are calling a digital dictatorship.
I worry because I think many people like me will be deprived of individual freedom.
A good school brings benefits, but people with low scores lose rights.
Let's grab this one.
You guys see what's going on in Italy right now, right? Like, these people aren't even violently protesting. They're just saying, hey, we're not going to work, we're not paying our taxes, and you're going to go bankrupt because we're not doing this digital ID thing. They're not going to, like, allow their governments to keep taking their rights away. And it's not being televised. So, you know, like I said, the revolution won't be televised. So, I mean, they're following suit in Nepal and all these other places, you know, like, it's getting crazy out here. But there's a blueprint. So pay attention. There's a blueprint to do this. But we don't have to be violent about it. You just don't pay. Don't go bankrupt. Don't buy anything. You know what I mean? If you can't afford food, obviously get food, but make sure you got at least 3 weeks rations. I'm just saying. You say.
I've been saying this for years.
And here it is.
You don't have to do all this.
Oh, Salakia.
You guys see what's going on in Italy right now, right? Like, you can't afford food, obviously get food, but make sure you...
For years. You don't have to do all this craziness. Their game doesn't work if you don't play. It's just that simple. You just don't.
See, but everybody's with that. They don't play. Don't bow down to the system. Man, they're gonna put you in a predicament to bow down to the system. You see, this is why they're taking away the benefits of the world. You don't comply, you don't listen, they'll take away every single thing and make it harder for you to, buy things, to own things, and then eventually you just bow down anyway, man. Because you don't have Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and these heathens have no power, man. You see? They just got their idols, their dumb idols are made out of wood and stone. Okay. None of that's gonna end up working for them, man. This is something that you can't stop because it's prophecy. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is gonna play this all out at the end of the day. You can't stop. It's destined to be, which prophecy. Okay, so you can try to stop all you want. That's why the Lord said that Satan shall cast out Satan, all right, and the kingdom won't stand.
You might get arrested.
And he was just saying, that the revolution won't be televised. Man, it's been televised. It might not be on your physical damn, all right, but I tell you what, it's all over social media. The prophets have made, you see, that's why the time will come, all right, whether they hear or fear, that they shall know that the prophet have among them, because you're gonna know who the Lord are when they come looking for us, when they come to demonize us, terrorize, persecute us, all for bringing out the scriptures and telling you what was going to happen ahead of time. Okay?
There's only so much room for that. And they say, well, we're going to make you a plea deal. No, I'm going to court. I'm going to go to court. And then you postpone each part of that. There's 3 parts.
See, here it is. See, these devils are stupid as hell. They think they're going to have court systems. That shit is going to be done with, man. That's the old world order, man. We're coming into a new world order. They ain't going to have none of that. By then, you're going to have to answer to a bunch of AI robots. You ain't going to be physically speaking to people anymore. You're going to be speaking to a bunch of AI robots that are ready like that. You see, everything is stored, data stored in their minds, in their system, okay? And it's that much quicker, that much easier. You see?
And then you demand a grand jury indictment. You demand a trial by jury. And finally, the whole system will get so packed, they just have to start letting people go. I mean, think about it. They do it for the people that have the most violent hit crime history. They just let them go because the prisons are too full. You see, you make them work for that. And finally, it's costing them too much. Oh, they're going to raise some taxes. Oh,
That shit, listen, and that shit ain't costing them they're using the money that you are making on a daily basis off of your taxes, okay? They're using your money. Here it is. They'll say they ain't got no money, but here it is. They'll fund something for $9 trillion, no problem. All right, that has to do with their agenda. Okay, you got to learn how to put your the puzzles together, man.
I haven't filed for
Matter of fact,
about 35 years.
Let me cut his ass off. He's talking some nonsense. All right.
Each country will crash its fiat currency. There will be no paper money in 18 months globally. It won't exist. It'll all be digital. Once each country has its own digital currency, that's the small step. They can't just go, okay, paper money's going, we're going to a global digital currency. Then that would tip people off to the whole scam that's happening.
But that's the point, though. That's the point. So they can do that at the end of the day. That's the point. That's what they want. They want everybody. Why they be messing with your minds, telling you, oh, they take this away, but then they give it back, this and that. All right. That's what the point is. The point is to them to make you go so crazy that you go into civil war amongst yourselves. You see, and give them the reason to just bring in martial law, shut shit down. All right. And bring their agenda even faster. It's called problem, reaction, solution. You see, order, add chaos. Hegelian dialect. Okay, they already just planned out the way it's supposed to be done, man. They done planned this shit out 100 years ago, man. They just been testing waters, and they already knowing, they already know what you're gonna do by testing the waters over again. All right, so now it's really just the Lord's time, man. Is really when Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai put the spirit on this devil to do what he do. What the?
Each country will crash its fiat currency. There will be no paper money in 18 months globally. It won't exist. It'll all be digital. Once each country has its own digital currency, that's the small step. They can't just go, okay, everybody's going to a global digital currency. Then that would tip people off to the whole scam that's happening. So they're doing it one country at a time to make it look like it's not all connected. Once each country cuts off the paper money and they have their digital currency in place, they will then finish crashing the whole world. Then they will come out and say, we need a one world digital currency, but they've already got the UN is already talking about, they've been working on this for 2 years, okay?
And that one world digital currency would be through a RFID. You see, all these things that are being done right now with these digital IDs and all that, that's just precursors, man. The physical ID, all right, that's going to be implanted into your mind or into your right hand or wherever in your body, all right, is already there. It's already ready to go. All right, but they like to do things in gradualism. Okay, they like to make you slowly suffer, slowly beg. All right, this is how filthy this devil is. That he wants you slowly beg for it. All right, he gets a kick out of you don't see all these damn crime shows that this devil does, and he tells you about how psycho killers are, and these different types of killers, serial killers, how they like to slowly see the victim torture. Okay, that's what this devil is. He one of those, a serial killer, man. He just like to see you be tortured little by little. If he just gets it over with, done with, it ain't gonna be no fun to him. He's not satisfied with blood, as the scriptures say, man. You see?
So the other
what
thing
the
I wanted
fuck?
to
Every time.
Each country will crash its fiat currency. There will be no paper money in 18 months globally. It won't be the whole world. One world digital currency, but they've already got. The UN is already talking about, they've been working on this for 2 years, okay? It's already in place. They'll say we need a one world digital currency to stop all these crashes and things from happening ever again. It's for your protection. That's how they get the one world currency. Each country will crash its fiat currency. There will be no paper money in 18 months globally. It won't exist. It'll all be digital. Once each country has its own digital currency, that's...
This is, let me grab, I'll grab one more.
Buckle up, America. What we are saying, we have to create.
Actually, you know what?
Well, I don't think we can find our way back.
This one says,
we can find our way back.
Lock here. Let me cut that music off before they smack me with that. It says, breaking newly declassified documents shows Dalai Lama was on a CIA payroll. All right. Which, hold on. No, actually, I used the wrong. That wasn't even supposed to be in that category. Salaki, I put that in a category. That's a different type of category. All right. But that's pretty much, you know, I'm gonna save the rest of the ones that I have because, you know, use them for different videos. All right. But you get the point, man. All right. All roads are going to continually lead to that Charagma at the end of the day, you know, whether you like it or not, whether you try to stand up and fight and not and boycott it. All right. It's going to be forced upon you because Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah is going to force it upon you. You see, because it's all prophecy and you can't stop prophecy. OK, let's grab these two scriptures and I'll close out. All right. Continual scriptures that we keep bringing out over and over again. All right. Revelations. All right. 13 and 16. And it says, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor. Right. Small from the first, but from a 1 day old. All right. Newborn to the oldest person alive. Rich and poor. OK. All these people that have money. All right. That think they can escape. All right, they're going to even be involved into the poorest. All right, going into you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. You know, even these bums that you see out here on the streets, you know, just laid out. All right, they're going to be put onto it too, free and bond. All right, those that are in prison or those that are walking around freely. Okay, to receive a MARK in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right, going into what? That Charagma. All right, which is going to be a physical implementation into your body, okay? Which Charagma goes into Charax, which is going to be used with a stake that's is able to, you know, enter into your skin, okay? And there's a whole bunch of, you know, images and videos of what this thing looks like, man. If you're not hip to it, well then shit, you live under a rock, okay? And it ain't the rock of Yahweh Shai, I tell you that. Okay. And then, you know, Charax goes into Grapho, you know, being able to record the data, being able to track you everywhere you go. You see, like a GPS. All right. Be able to record data, things not to be forgotten. All right. This is all connected to that RFID. All right. That no man might buy or sell at the end or the name. All right. Of that beast or the number of his name. Okay, you see, so it's crazy. It says, "Save he that had the MARK." Yeah, because you're gonna be saved by Esau. All right, but eventually destroyed by Yahweh Shai. You see, the Lord said, "He that save his life loses his life, and he that loses his life for my name's sake shall save it." You see, so you want the mark of being exempt from judgment, okay? But these people, because they want to go back to the world, they want to have massa still be their massa, okay? They are going to take the MARK that's given by him, all right, which is a stamp and a branded, you know, a branded MARK into the skin, all right, to show that you are his property, that you are a digital slave, okay? Here's wisdom, let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, For it is the number of a man, and his number is 603 score and 666. Right? Let's grab 3 and 10. All right, this is for the elect. All right, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, meaning the truth. I all to worry about, man. All right. Scriptures say some trust in chariots. All right. Some trust in what was it? Let me grab it real quick. This is Psalms 20 and 7. Some trust in chariots, some in horses. All right, meaning power. But we will remember the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, because the name of Yahweh is a strong tower and a righteous man runneth into it and is safe. Okay. So back to Revelations 3 and 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them, showing you that it's going to be a global thing that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. All right. Meaning keep this truth. All right. Strive for the truth all the way until death, even if it means your death, man. You constantly put your trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, things is going to be all right, man. Always. So, hey, Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. So with that being said, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Haloim La Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Aquat that's listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. So with that being said, Shalom, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatah. Keep fighting the good fight of faith, enduring as good soldiers of Yahweh Shai. Shalom.